Hey Jason, how did you start building a network around your startup, and what types of tools and/or resources did you find were helpful in making your startup successful? Nikadal Media. Great question. When I started in the industry, I had a lot of techniques to get myself noticed. I was a good writer, decent writer, so I wrote. I did podcasts. People think, oh my God, This Week in Startups, what's been amazing the last 6 years. Well, you know what? I was doing streaming radio shows on the internet in 1995. I was writing my first columns for Paper Magazine in 1995. I basically used my words and my ideas to get noticed. That's one way to get noticed. I would also throw dinner parties. I would also throw parties and just invite people over and go to events. And I mean, one of my best hacks was I used to go to events like eTech or PC Forum or other events, and I would just lobby crash. And then I knew one or two people. I'd say, hey, you want to have dinner later? What's your plan for dinner? And they'd say, no, I don't plan to have dinner with you, Jason. Then I would say, okay, I get a reservation for 4 people at one restaurant, 8 people at another restaurant, 12 at another restaurant. Literally, 2 or 3 reservations. I would say to the person, then I would find the next person. I'd say, hey, what are you doing, Doc Zeros, for dinner? And he'd say, nothing. And I'd say, oh, I'm having dinner with Dave Weiner. Do you want to come? He'd say, yeah, that sounds great. So now I got 3 guys going. Then I'd say, I run into Brad Feld or Fred Wilson or whoever, and I'd say, hey, I'm having dinner with these 2 interesting people. I was literally piggybacking on the brand names and cachet of other people to get other people to come to the dinner, knowing that the guy who picks up the check at dinner is always remembered and gets to give a toast and thank everybody for coming. Right? It's a simple hack. And I was broke, so buying dinner seemed like it was out of the question. Well, you know what I did? I would pick like a Mexican joint, or I'd pick a place that was cheap. And you know what I do? Before I go to the waiter before, and I said, listen, these people don't want to order. I'm just going to put a bunch of food out family style. Bring us 4 quesadillas. Bring us 4 plates of fajitas. I know this sounds really stupid that I'm like going into this level of detail, but this is what entrepreneurs do. They hack everything. So I'd hack dinner. I'd order $60 worth of Mexican food, $100 worth of Mexican food. It would feed everybody. And nobody ordered the entrees, which were $25. I got out of Dodge pretty easy. And then always somebody would be like, hey, can I split it with you? And I'd be like, no, that's okay. Okay, sure. If I was truly broke. But that was how I made a name for myself. And now that was before social media and blogs. When those things came along, I think just writing about and engaging on a specific topic in a very intelligent way and being interested in other people, right? So this is just how to win friends and influence people. If you are genuinely enthusiastic about other people and you're interested in what they're doing, and you don't come up to somebody and immediately explain, hi, I'm Jason Calacanis, I'm doing the Launch Festival, 13,000 people came last year, it's going to be 15,000. That's just not a way to even operate in the world. You have to come up and say, hey, it's a pleasure to meet you. What do you do? I'm an angel investor. Oh, might I know any of the companies that you're an angel investor in? Oh, Twitter? Oh, wow. That's amazing. How did you wind up becoming an investor? I mean, that was the conversation when I met Chris Sacca, right? Like, I just ran into the guy, asked him what he did, and we started talking, and I asked him a couple questions, and we became friends. It's a real honor for me to be in such a deep and meaningful partnership with the team at IBM. My first computer was an IBM PC Junior, and it took me 6 months to convince my dad to save up the money from his bar. And one night, he got home from the bar at 6 or 7 in the morning, and I was annoying him as a 12-year-old. I really want the PC Junior. It's $900. Please get me a PC Junior. And he said, fine. He was kind of half in the bag at the time. And we drove to downtown Manhattan to this computer store on Lower Broadway. I'll never forget it. It was a Saturday morning. He had been out all night Friday. And he had cash. And he walked in and he bought me the IBM PC Junior. And it was the greatest computer. It started me on my journey. And now, wow, it's like 30 years later, and I'm in a deep partnership with IBM. I can pinch myself. Like, it's really just super great to have the recognition of a world-class company like IBM who cares just as much as I do and my team does about supporting founders. So SmartCamp 2015, SmartCamp 2015, SmartCamp2015.com. If you're a fan of the show and you appreciate all the work we do at Launch Festival, please go to your local SmartCamp 2015 and encourage entrepreneurs to go to it. And then, of course, you're all my guest, and you're the guest of IBM and Launch at Scale and at the Launch Festival. Couldn't do it without their support, and it's just such a great partnership, and it's just beginning. So thanks again to our friends at IBM, and we'll see you next time on a special Ask Jason episode.